62 Show.
Welcome, everyone, to This Week on the 6873 Show. Today, we are going to be doing our After Dark and looking at cartomancy. Is it real? And can it actually help people? So join us. I think it's going to be an interesting show. Anyway, my name is Captain Rin. The other host of the show, of course, are...
I am Toki. The foxy fox next to me is...
I'm Rossi. The fish stick next to me
is healed as always, and the big stallion behind us.
Ion, and this Dargan next to me.
Your favorite witch, Void Anubis.
Exactly. So today we're doing tarot card readings for some people that we actually have asked to be on the show today. Maybe we are also getting our own readings, as I'm trying to say. But like we said, stay tuned. See what kind of mystery we're gonna see today. Never know. So let's get going. As you guys can see, we moved into a world where you could actually get tarot card readings. Now you might think, oh, they're just going to pull up some cards and that's going to be it. I don't know if people can see, but there is a button over there, and Big Doggy is the one that's going first. But Doggy is mute. For us, we can see his text box. So I'm going to be translating for you guys out there so you can actually hear what he asks about. But Heal, I understand you have also never gotten a tarot card reading, am I right?
I've been offered, but I just never really had the chance to get it done.
So you're actually going to see it first. Yes. But after we're done with the ones who are going to participate in this, Healed, you might also get the chance to get a tarot card reading. Maybe on or off camera. Just listen to what he says.
First off, I have to explain some things. The cards are open to interpretation. It's not solid set in stone. There is no good cards, there is no bad cards. It's down wholly to interpretation. I don't have much experience in this, but it seems I do have a knack for it. I go by feeling what it means to me, what sticks out. It is my interpretation. You can take it or leave it. It is not a prediction. It's not saying it's necessarily going to come true. It's not going to say you're going to get fame, fortune, like most tarot readers you will know throughout the whole world. That is not what it is. A tarot reading is supposed to help achieve an understanding, to help you guide you towards the goals that you want in life. Secondly, if you're not happy with the reading, you can ask at any point to stop. I know you're mute, but you can put your hands up like this to say you don't want to go any further, because yes, it can cause emotional distress. I had the reading once that did cause major emotional distress. Okay, but I won't go too much into details of what's happening. There is different types of layouts.
Sorry to interfere, but I know Ren used to say this when he made tarot card readings, that the cards don't tell you what you want to know, but what you need to know, if I'm correct.
Exactly.
So.
That's what that first rule means.
That was what you were... yeah.
Now, unfortunately, because Toki didn't explain one thing, is when you're shuffling, you have a question in mind when you're doing the shuffle.
That is right, yes.
So, to actually circumvent that a little bit, I want you to hold a question in your mind. It can't be like stuff like, will I get fame? Will I get money? Will I look for love? Will I find it? You want to look for something that's more meaningful. For example, will I be able to progress further in my job avenue? You want something that's not going to be too realistic, but something that is like a goal for you.
Are you nervous? Because you're going from side to... Yeah, I see that. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay. If you need to do that, you do that. I could just see that he was very like going from side to side.
No. Because this is a first tower reading for you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 3-card draw. We'll have you take them out. So it'll be your past, your present, and the future.
Yeah.
Okay?
Stop texting.
So whenever you're ready, pull out one for the past, pull out one for the present, and pull out one for the future. But do not, by any means, look at the card. There was a certain order
Back
to
to
this
being
one, so the
mysterious.
viewers who had questions why you're doing it in that way, certain order way, is because the first card you draw is particularly your future. The second card you draw is particularly your present. And the third card you draw is your past. I will explain each and every single one, what they actually mean. However, that's only be towards this individual in front of me. You'll get more info when I actually talk about it in further person, in depth review, by when I give the little bit of history about it, and possibly one of the presenters could come to me and ask like questions and be there to help things further along. But time to get your tarot reading done. It's okay to be nervous, don't worry.
It's okay.
So the first card we have is the Star, which is very interesting because this is the first card I've ever seen. So it means that in the way that I'm feeling it and seeing it and looking at you, is that in your past, you've had all these hopes, you had all these dreams and desires. You want to be a beacon, a pinnacle, and you also want to be a shining beacon for others, to support others, to show that yes, you can do it, you can make it, you can achieve your dreams and your goals. And you had that flowing passion, you had that about you. Everyone looked up towards you, they were inspired, and you were the inspiration that they needed to actually get their ball rolling. And it shows that you had much of abundance for it. You laid it all out there. You bared all your dreams, and you took that by the grasp of life, and you went for it. So that was your
Wish
path.
upon a star.
Exactly.
Basically.
So your present situation. So you have the 6 of Pentacles. And in this card, you can actually see that, you know, there's a man here, and there's what appears to be an old homeless people who are not doing so well, and he has the scales. So in your present situation, you understand that in the past you had all these things you wanted to do, and there's so much of it. There was a whole lot of it, but you needed to learn that balance. So something happened in your present to finally realize I cannot achieve all this in one go. I need to plan my steps. I need to work on the abundance of it. I need to plan all my steps. What do I want the most? Which one I'm going to achieve first? And with that achievement, you actually start to realize that other people around you are also being affected by what you want to do. And possibly that you might think, well, because some people done things for me, I want to give that back. I want to get that back in return. To get that flowing cycle going, that cycle of you being the best person, the best version of you, to actually give back to people who aren't the best version of themselves, who wasn't able to get on that journey, who wasn't able to get that that dream, that goal. So you help them. You help them with a helping hand, even if it's a little amount, you got them ball rolling for them. Now, this is your future card, which I struggle to grab. There we go. The Four of Cups. That is a good card. As you can see here, there's a man sitting underneath a tree. The person here, if you look at it closely, is that they're sitting down and they're contemplating. They are very much in contemplation. And the cups, they mean just more things. So you get that reference at sometimes. Like to quote from a film, you can't fill a cup that's already full. So it shows that you have many cups. You're still looking at fulfillment. You're still looking for that one particular dream, that one particular goal that you want to achieve. It's there, and you haven't achieved it yet, which is what the president is saying, because you have to balance it. You have to look at realistically on the side of things and how to get to that realistic side of things to actually get you on that track. So it's still an unfulfilled dream, but it's still something that you're thinking about, something that you want still to achieve in the future. And it seems that something in the future may be giving that possibility to achieve that goal, to fulfill it. So whenever you get that chance, think about that chance. Is this the right time to achieve that goal? And if it is, who knows? Maybe you probably would achieve it. But all I can say is, I wish you luck on it.
Now, before we go further, do you have any questions about what he just said? Okay.
Then after each one that I do is how they feel afterwards. So what did you feel beforehand? I already knew you was nervous. I could tell you was nervous and you're probably a bit from the anticipation. But now after you had your reading, what do you feel in your state of mind? Do you feel happy? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more motivated?
He is typing his answer.
Interested and happy.
That's a good thing. Just remember that feeling, okay? Keep hold of that feeling and hold on to it.
Now, he can ask questions, right? If he wants to continue. Yeah.
You can ask questions.
So is there anything, Doggy, you want to maybe ask and maybe the cards can guide you? Or... Nope. Okay. You're good. So how was your first tarot card reading? Exciting? It was nice. Good, good. Well, we're gonna bring the next one in to get a tarot card reading. Heels and I will go outside, and the next one will take over.
All right, we're back with our next ghost, but I actually wanted to ask Anubis. So you know, I've done quite a lot of tarot reading myself. I've actually worked for some companies, stuff like that. And I do know that tarot reading in general, like, will vary drastically between reader and reader. But for your experience, like, what are some of the really profound experiences you had as a reader, and what are your views in tarot in general?
Well, in the both kind of senses that I learned that each people do it differently. So to understand how it was first originated, is that it first originated when the gypsies, and I think it was Romanic gypsies. They're the ones that first came up with the tarot cards. Now, originally, they used tarot cards for gambling. Because back then you didn't have all these ace of spades and stuff like that, four of hearts. You didn't have the normal playing cards that you see today, like when you go to Las Vegas or you could buy in shops. You had to make them. Now, the very, very personal thing that they used to do with their tarot cards is that usually there'll be a wise woman who would make the tarot cards, and it'll take her some time, very much depth in time, because it's more personalized. They're putting their energies into it because they understand what they need to do. They understand what individual card needs to talk.
And custom work
So
takes time.
when
Mhm.
it does, they do it all by
Yeah.
hand, making the cards, painting the cards, writing the cards, the design. And what they will usually do is that when they're about to pass on to the afterlife or to the great beyond, they would pass on the tarot cards to their daughters, and they keep passing it down the line. They keep passing it down the line. So those cards are within that family bloodline. And they
Family
say
heirloom
that
kind of thing.
when it keeps getting passed down, the
Mhm.
cards get more stronger.
Mm.
They start to speak more. You can feel the energies of your ancestors inside the cards. When I first pick up a tarot deck card, yeah, bearing in mind I bought them in the store. I bought them in the store. That's because I want to get into it. So it's very simple, still very good pictures. But it's just a tool. So in occultism, they use it as guidance. They use it as another tool to seek guidance for further knowledge into basically into like, should we is the ritual going to be successful today? Is it going to cause issues? Am I going to get what I'm going to be willing? Stuff like that. And the first occultic person who actually used it was Aleister Crowley. He's the one that actually took tarot cards very, very seriously because he would always have this person called the Red Woman. And the Red Woman is the woman who is able to be more prophetic, who would be able to sense things and say, this is not going to go well. So anytime that he would do his rituals, he would always have a red woman there, overwatching, overlooking. And if she sensed something wrong, if she got a bad feeling, or she sees something, she'll immediately let him know, and he'll stop it. He'll stop the ritual. He'll cancel it. He'll say, no, right, we need to stop. This is not going to happen. This is not going to affect what we want. And they would also use tarots. So that's when he started approaching the Red Woman, and she would then do what they need to do. Some use tarots, some meditate, some procrastinate on it. And they keep asking, is this going to happen? What's this going to happen? How's it going to affect things? So tarot is more of a tool, but it's a magical tool that even it's a simplistic tool. It can hold a lot of backlashes if you do it wrong, if you abuse the power that it has. You have to respect the power that the tarot can read, because if you read too much into it, it's going to affect you to the level. That's why I always say it's down to interpretation. My interpretation of it is that I let the cards speak to me. That's how you usually do it. That's why when you buy a tarot card, you get used to that tarot deck. You build your energies with it. You get it intertwined. You want it to be an extension of you, so you can actually perform to your best of the abilities that you want to help other people with. And when I picked up my first tarot deck, I could instantly feel in my hands that there's tingling sensation, vibrations, and I was like, I feel like I want to do this. I feel like I want to try. And when I did get my first tarot, even I was surprised. I was genuinely surprised because it went so successfully. It felt natural. It felt real natural to me. It was
Well, I've
like the
always heard that
cards
the
was
cards
talking
find the
through me.
reader.
Exactly. It feels
Like
like
every
the
card
cards
has
was
their own
talking through
personality.
me. Each of them do. Each card has its own personality, and the cards that I use are the moon cards and the nature cards. Now, these are different, so please, viewers, don't. When you go online, you see different types of tarot decks. I know which ones I've got, and there is different types of moon tarots and nature tarots. It's all different, and each has their own personality. But the ones that I have, I feel most connected to. And the tarot card itself has a simplistic picture, has a simplistic meaning and description that I can, me being a beginner of tarot, can still understand, and the card will talk through me as long as I understand that card. When you understand the card, you have a bond with it then, and it's able to communicate back with you. Like that one time with you, I kept saying to you, the cards are singing to me. I feel like someone needs a reading. And what happened on that day? Someone came up to me and asked. I think it was actually you. I think it was actually you. Like, they said, I really need a reading. And I think that was in last year when they asked me. I really need a reading. Could you do a reading for me? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And I looked towards you and said, I told you. I told you.
Well, that's amazing. Like I say, I've many readings I've done, I have had some just absolute mind-blowing experiences, and a lot of people say, "Oh, they're just for telling a fortune." Like for me, from my experience, is they're not so much they're not telling you the fortune; they're a roadmap. You know, they tell you what you need to know, and they give you guidance.
It gives you
but they
guidance.
don't tell you the future per se.
Now, the reason is I always tell people in media about this that yes, there is tarot readers who do it for money. Now, the ones that don't charge too much, and the ones that are like, they generally feel out the person first, and then they offer their services. Those ones you generally have to look out for, because they can say like, yeah, I've got tons of experience. But every time I walk in my hometown and I go into town, there is two tarot readers on the same side. So there's one at the front and there's one at the back on the same building. Now, to me, it feels a bit too much of a coincidence, to be honest. Because apparently that one's had famous people and this one's had famous people. Yes, I know famous people who got tarot readings before. But yes, some tarot readers do know what they're doing and took their time into it. Those who study under Wicca or occultism and learn about tarot, they know what they're doing. Now, some gypsies and Romanian gypsies, they know what they're doing with tarot as well. If they still practice, they know what they're doing. Sometimes online tarotists I do not trust. I don't trust them. Because they'll read what it is on the card. They'll just simply pull a card out, like I've done. I could dare you. Like I've done. And they go, oh, you've drawn this card. This card is bad. I see this, this, and this. It's open to their interpretation, but they're not understanding the card. There is so many things going on in this card that they're just literally describing the card. And they think it's a prophetic thing that's going to happen, but it's not. Even you had experience in this, as where you met a few people who were doing tarot readings and they were just explaining what was on the card.
Yeah.
You're not explaining what the card is saying. It's telling a story that's interlinking to their question. That's what you need to explain. The card will talk. It will stand out on some of the objects that need to be said. Like I've already done with the previous tower for the other person that was here. I, yes, pointed out some things on the card, but it was still telling me a story because it was his first time. I needed to explain. Now there's one already here who already understands tarot, so I can just get into it. I wouldn't need to explain what's going on or what's on the card. I'll just read the story, what the card's telling me, what they need to know. Someone needs to hit the button for me.
Well, Rossi, if you have any questions you might would like to add to it, or would you like to introduce our guests?
I can't really say I've got any questions because I don't know much about tarot card reading at all, to be honest. I just know like the
But what is
basics,
it that
like
you
you
really
said.
wanted
It's
to know, though?
I don't know. That's my point. It's just my understanding is it's like you said. It's a guiding. You turn the card and it gives you an idea of. Isn't it something to do with like past, present, and future sort of things? So you can read your past from it. You can read what could happen, or again something that is currently happening to help you understand what is happening. Is that am I right in that understanding, sort of thing?
That's the basic one. That is the free
Yeah.
the free card draw, which is basically past, present, and future. There are other ways of doing it. There's one that's I think it's called the Irish cross. I think it's called
The Irish
Is it?
cross, the horseshoe, the Celtic cross.
That one, yeah. There is like the ones he listed. There's different ways of each Taoist do it. They find what works for them. I find that yes, the free card draw is very simple for me, and it is more directly. I don't need to get into it, not unless I want to give them the full tarot experience. I've only done that once, and that was on the watchful guidance of the fellow presenter here. Under him, he was actually
Master
with
Ren.
me that day, standing next to me, watching to see that if I was drawing things out correctly. Because yes, I wanted to do one of the crosses. It was my first time doing it, and I was terrified if I'm going to go wrong. And he'd tell me which card where it needs to go, and that was it. And then he let me do what I need to do. But yes, there's many different layouts. It's all down to the reader. It's always down to them, whatever feels comfortable for them, and what's ever going to be more beneficial for the person who's receiving the reading.
I see. Well, I think we should get on with the
Yes, so
our
we have
guests'
our
readings.
next guests. So we have actually Phoenix and Avery here. They are actually a couple, and we'll actually turn this over to Anubis for the reading.
Yes, and this is going to be the first one for me as well, because this is like fellow presenter here said, it's a couple reading. This is my first ever couple reading. So, you, Phoenix, you already understand the rules. Avery, do you understand the rules? Have you ever heard of the rules? No. Right, so basically, I'm not going to get too in-depth into this. First rule is, like the fellow presenters here, they're a guidance. They're not going to tell you the answer. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. You take it as your own person and how you feel about it, okay? Secondly, there is no good, there is no bad, there is no negative effects of going on. They're just simply a tool to help you guide on what you want, okay? To help you reach that goal or that certain particular answer that you're looking for. It's like signposts. That's all they're designed for. It's like signposts leading the way. Thirdly, if you feel uncomfortable at any time from either of you, you can just put your hands up or you can say stop, and I'll stop immediately. If you get too emotional, which can happen, I think it happened with you. I gave you a reading. I think you got emotional because it got into your past.
The thing is, I don't remember you giving me a tarot reading before. I remember Ren giving me one, but not you.
No, I gave you one last year.
First of all, it was Ren that
It was
did
about
it.
love.
Okay.
No, it was about love.
I guess what that was Ren. I thought that was Ren.
Well, the reader
I
should
think
know.
I did it for you. I never forget my tarot readings.
Mm.
because it doesn't just like I said, it doesn't affect. It not only just affects the person receiving the reading, it also affects me as well. Like I said, the cards are talking through me. It drains energy out of me, and it's sometimes if it goes on for too long, it gets painful. It's very taxing. So that's it. Okay, you understand the rules, right? So one of you, doesn't matter who would you use, goes up to the green box over there. You click that box how many times? That box will shuffle these cards. Okay? But while you're doing so, hold the question in your mind. So I want you to think of the question that you want answered or that you need guidance on. I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm going to help the card explain how you can reach that answer. Okay? So, because I know it's on the couple thing, so maybe you want to talk about the question. You can go into the room at the back so I don't hear about it, and you can discuss what question it can be. It has to be between you both, okay? You both need to understand it because you both are looking. So this is a paradigm kind of thing. If one of you has a question and you have a question, but it's worded differently, it can affect the outcome. This happened before. Someone had a question, but yet the way they worded it in their head didn't help. They think, they got confused about it. So I want you to discuss between you and make sure you're both solidly aware on word for word on what question you want asking in your head. I don't need to hear out loud. Just ask it in your head while you're shuffling the cards. Okay? You both got the question in your mind, word for word.
Mhm.
Okay? Now, whoever decides to hit the button, you ask that question and you focus on that question, that one question in particular. Empty all thoughts, not that question. You keep that question in mind. That should be your main focus. And you ready? Who's going to draw out the card? When you do draw out the card, when you draw it, you keep it face down. Don't look at it. Just put it somewhere over here so I can grab them, okay? That's it.
Just one?
No, take out 3.
Okay.
No, over here. Slightly over here. So I can... Because the reach on this pile is insane. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Right. 3 cards. Each represents a point in time. Past, present, future. Now this is the couple thing. And whatever question you had in mind, I will have to try and see what the question is through these cards. Because it's a couple thing. Okay? This is going to be my first time doing one. So please be patient. I have never got this card before. Jesus. Lord. The Judgment card. Have you ever seen that one?
Many times.
Oh, Lord. Well, I can say a lot of things are going on in this card. It's like pow. But the way it's talking to me, it's very grey. So in the past, it just some things in the past wasn't settling. It felt like you had more questions. It feels like you were missing some things and you weren't getting the answers. There are some things that you just probably didn't like, and you was looking to not be too harsh about it, and probably cause you to stay a bit silent with each other on some things. But there is, in the past, I feel like there was a lot of questions for a lot of things, and it just felt a bit murky, so it must have been a rocky start. a very rocky start. Now, that's a strong one. Present card. Okay, we got the Magician. Okay. So with this one, it feels... This is a very difficult reading this time. It feels like there's a lot of things going on between you two. A lot of things are going on. And at the minute, you're looking for wisdom. So that's probably why today you're here looking for a reading, so you can get that wisdom. And at the minute, you're looking for a banterful wisdom. You have so many questions, but they're all tying into one, so they're all kind of interceding with each other, which is kind of a struggle at the minute. So it is affecting your past majorly, but it's still affecting you to this day. That's why you both want something. You want something deeper. Let's have a look at your future. Temperance. God damn. Right, okay. So this reading is very interesting for me because this is my first reading. But the future is more unknown. The card is saying it's unsure what's going on. However, some things are just going to be as is. As they're saying, is you stick out the bottom lip and get a tougher upper lip. That's what it's saying. Between these two, whatever question you want answered or looking for guidance on, you have to hammer that one particular question. So there is a question still in your head, deep back in your mind, that's still playing on it, it's affecting the reading. So I'm going to ask between these two, and this is very unique reading today, a very unique one. And I'm actually going to give you advice here. This is something really I have to do because this is murky. Extremely, extremely murky. Each card was contradicting each other, telling different stories, which means that in both of your minds, too many questions. You both need to take time with each other, be honest, put up those questions, solidify one question. Maybe writing them down may help. But it seems that the cards cannot help you with these ones, okay? I'm sorry if you didn't get any sort of hopes to guide you on what sort of answer that you want. I'm sorry for that. But that's all the wisdom I can give you. Is there any questions you have for me?
Can't really think of anything.
I suggest that next time, if you want a tarot reading, come to me in private. Okay? Or even just something, doesn't have to be tarot reading. You can just be asking for some sort of guidance, okay? And I will do what I can. Alright?
I think that's one of the things that, especially with tarot, because if you have someone like you say who is just simply doing it for money, they're simply going to give a story out to make you feel good, give you money. but someone who is a genuine tarot reader, they who are actually hearing the cards talk, and sometimes they don't always tell us what we want to hear, even though we might ask something totally
Mhm.
different. The cards will always tell you what you need to hear and what you have to hear at that moment. But I think this is a great case for that, and also helps with a lot of the validity, because if it was just, for a lot of people, if it was just a game, then of course they would make up any story, whatever like that. But you can see here the cards are genuinely trying to make a point. But I think that's for this reading here. We will have our next person come in, and we'll be right back.
And hello again, everyone. We are back with me, the lovely Stallion Ion, and we have got General Bogey.
Salute.
And as before, we shall let Void work his magic.
Oh, okay. So you have no questions for me. Very simple. Right. Is this your first tarot reading?
Sort of. Yeah. I only had once my palm reading before, but that's about it.
Okay, that's separate. That's separate. Tarot readings involving the cards. Having your palmistry read is different.
I have one small thing. What if I have multiple questions, like 3, for example?
If you have multiple questions, it can affect the reading. Like it has done previously before this, which you have all guys already seen. Then if you're unsure which question that you're not sure of what you want first, then I usually would suggest that you wouldn't go for the tarot. That you need to take some time to actually focus on which question. If you have multiple of them, they will affect the outcome. They will conflict each other.
I understand.
Just pick the one
Okay.
question that is burning to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because this is your first one, I'm going to do it very simply. 3 cards. When you draw one card out, you place it somewhere over here so I can grab them, because the reach on this is insane. Like I can pick a card straight from here. Okay, 3 cards. Take one, place it over here where my hand is.
You don't have to take
Okay,
it
I
off
got
the
it.
top. You can go from anywhere in the deck.
Yep. Again, another card for me. Thank you. And one last one. Right, 3 cards. Very simple things. So you might already know what it's going to be. Past, present, future. So what has happened in the past? What happens in present? And what's going to happen in the future? This is just a guiding tool. It's not going to tell you the answer. It's not going to tell you what you want to hear. It's going to tell you what you need to hear. Okay? Like I said, this is your past card. And each card, they tell a story. But they communicate in a way to me that I will help you get what you want. So in the past, you was very optimistic. You felt wonder about the world and you questioned things. You wanted to actually seek a little bit of knowledge. Maybe not one particular subject, but you wanted to seek that knowledge, which led you to ask questions, you got intrigued, and you sought it out. You searched for it. And maybe when you got your hands on it, maybe that's when you start trying to study and look through it and trying to do a bit more research into it. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. The present card. Oh, lovely. The 6 of Pentacles. Now here, because you looked out and you seeked in the past, you found out that, I need to balance this with other things. So maybe you had some IRL things going on around you, maybe involving your friends or your family. Maybe sometimes a little bit of turmoil that you need to balance it from responsibilities, to futuristic ideas. So you need to get a little bit more realistic. And you need to think about, okay, I'm gaining some knowledge, I'm gaining some things, but I also need to share that knowledge and share that things that I need to share. And your future card. The Ace of Swords. Now this is the first card for me. But it's saying it's very strong and it's straight to the point. Literally, it's just straight to the point. That if you keep looking and you keep carrying on the path that you are going, you'll eventually achieve your goal. You'll eventually achieve whatever you're looking for and what it is you ever need. But it's all at the minute involving the present. That balance. You need to keep that balance in check. When you give in, then you taketh and you also give it. Okay? So yeah, the future looks pretty well good. But keep focusing on the present. But just remember what you had in the past. Keep the balance. Now,
see.
this being your tarot reading, I understand that what you're saying there is that you actually gave me the answers I was looking for. So at the minute, it's kind of subjective to you, and it's playing on your mind probably a little bit. I will now hand it back to my fellow adorees over here.
Do you have anything to say? Okay, you're just gonna stand there and look rugged. I appreciate that, Void. Was there anything else you wanted to add, General, or are you okay? Well, are you okay?
I'm okay, and I'm honored to be on the show.
It was a pleasure to have you.
Well, that's our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. So we also want to know, if you enjoyed this episode, would you like to see future tarot readings?
Thank you guys so much for watching this show today. As you see, all different answers, all different questions, even though some of the questions were not revealed here today, you can come in and maybe ask Anubis here, or even Ren for a tarot card reading. Would you like to see more of them? Please let us know. Leave a comment down below, and like we said, we're always gonna reply to you guys. We couldn't do this without you. But before we say goodbye for now, everybody hands up. Hands up.
I can't. Too much pain.
Rossi,
wise
what is your
Rossi.
words of wisdom?
Rossi's wise words of the day is: man who walked through door naked sideways is going to Bangkok.
Very wise, very wise.
Very
Exactly
wise
what they
words.
said.
Yeah, what they said.
What they said. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Please go and check out our Discord. We also have a group here in VR chat under the 6873 show. You can always apply to be a member of it. We also have TikTok. We have Instagram. Go in and check us out in there. And of course, our YouTube channel. And look forward to the next episode. We're going to spice things up a little bit more on this show. Also, I'll say a great thank you for the girls over at the Triple Fs. You guys are amazing. Potato Chips, we saw the ratings you just gave us. Thank you. So, without further ado, I will say this to all our potato chips out there. Take care. Be safe. Lots of love. Bye.
And no summoning.
Teddy,
No
bye.
summoning. I like to
butt
do
punch.
the job properly, but I'm working with retards.
Hey everyone, Captain Ren here. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and please consider supporting us on our Patreon. Until next week, we'll see you on the 6873 show. Everyone out there, have a good week.